Hello guys, I'm Naval Yamal. So in this video, we are going to see what are modules in Python, like basic of module in Python. So what is module? So module is nothing but it is a collection of functions. Module is a collection of functions. Now what are functions? So functions are nothing but if you have a group of statements that is repeatedly required. Suppose if you have lines of code, and if you want to use that 5 6 lines of code every time, then we use a function. So what are functions we are going to see in detail, but now you can just think on like a module is nothing but it is a collection of the functions. Let me do it like this. Yeah, a module consists of a collection of functions. There are various modules in Python. One of the basic module is a Python module. One of the basic module is a math module. So let us talk more about the math module. So what you can do with math? So you can like this math module contains many inbuilt functions, many inbuilt modules inside that. Okay, so what is module? Module is a collection of functions. So if you take a math module, there are many inbuilt modules inside this math module. So if I want to use this math module inside my Python IDE, so I have to import that. For example, if I want to use a square root, if I want to calculate the square root of a number, okay, let me show you with an example. Suppose if I write a square root, uh, I'll write SQ square root. So the shortcut for square root in the math module is sqrt, and if I say square root of 16 and if I run this, yeah, so it is throwing an error saying that like Python doesn't know what is sqrt. Sqrt is nothing but square root, but this is a function. Actually, this square root is a function inside a math module. So inside a math module, there are various functions. Like you can find out the square root, you can do ceiling, you can do floor, you can find out the pi value, you can use the power function. There are so many functions inside a math module. So if you want to use the math module, you first need to import the math module and then start using the functions inside the math module. So let me explain you like with an example. Suppose if I want to use, hey, I want to use all the functions which are inside this math module. So I have to first import the math module. So the keyword is import and just give a name. So I'll just import math, and if I run this, so this code will take care of importing the math module. So what is there inside the math module? There are various functions inside this math module. One of the function is the square root function inside the math module. Suppose now if I want to use this sqrt, I have to say this is a part of math function, that is math dot, because I have imported a math module. Inside a math module there is a function called sqrt, and I want to find out the square root. Let me run this now. Now you can see the output. Wow, you can see this. But before importing the math, if you are trying to use the function which are inside the math function, you will not get the output, you will get an error. So if I want to use, or if I want to find out like what is the pi value, which is a function, pi is a function inside a math module. So if I use pi and just enter, yeah, you can see this as a pi value. So not only math, there are so many other functions, there are so many modules in Python. So that's why Python is becoming so much popular because of these modules. So we know the basic of Python and we are using many modules according to our need, according to the use case, and then we are proceeding. So this is one way how you can import the math module. There are actually many ways you can do. So suppose if I want to calculate the floor and the seal value of a decimal. So we have already seen what is floor and seal. If not, I'll just explain you. Suppose I have a decimal value, for example 5.9, and if I want to find the seal value of this 5.9, I'll just say print. So what does seal means? As a name itself indicates, seal is the upper one, that is sealing. So it will show you the answer 6. Okay. If I execute this, you'll get an error because this seal is a function of math. So every time you have to call this math module. So I have to say, hey, this seal is a function of math module. So I have to say math dot seal and execute this. So if I execute this, now you get an output as 6. So every time if you are using a function, you have to specify the module name, then the function name. Suppose if I take a floor value, that floor means it is a lower value, as the name itself indicates floor. So it will be in the, like, the value will be lower, so the value will be 5. So every time you have to use the math module name and then the function name. So this is one way you can import the math module. There are multiple ways. So the second way how you can import is, you can just say import math as m and run this. So if you are using import math as m, so now no need to write a math full name here. Just instead of this math, you just use m. That will be sufficient. Let us check now. Suppose if I say print m dot sqrt will take care of calculating the square root of any number, and if I run this, now you can see that we got 7. So if I say, for example, print math dot sqrt of 49, this will not run. This will not run. But if you execute this, now it will run because we have already imported the math. So it will take care of, it will take the value from this and it will run. But if you are saying import math as m, so every time instead of math you have to put m only. Okay, so you need to take care of that. So this is the second version. Suppose if I am writing one code, or if I want to calculate square root of 100 numbers, I'll be using only a square root function from the math module. I'll be using only square root function. So here I'm telling you the third version. Let me tell you here. So I can use, or I can import only the square root function from the math module. So the code will be from math module import. No need to mention a module. So from math import sqrt. That's it. So this will take care of getting out the function square root from the math module. Now, so what is the advantage of this? So the advantage of this from math import square root, no need to give a module name. So you can see this, no need to give a module name like m dot or math dot. Just now we have given m dot or math dot. Every time you have to specify the module name, but here no need to specify it. Just run this and it will take care of creating, because we have seen that from math import sqrt. So if like, hey, I want to find out the seal also, so can I do that? So if I say print seal of 10.9 and if I execute this, you will throw an error because, hey, this seal is not imported. So what shall I do? So you can write from math import seal. if I execute this, and if I rerun this cell again, because it has executed now, if I rerun this, now you will be getting the value as 11. But now you might be thinking that for every function we have to use the import. No, not for every function. So if you want to use all the functions inside the math module, so that is a fourth way you can do, and that is my favorite. You can do from math import, you can just say star. So star will take care of importing all the functions inside the math module. So let me run this, and now it has executed. Now you can easily use any function which are inside the math module. Suppose if I say floor, and if I say 3.2, if I want to calculate the floor value, yeah, so if I want to use print pi directly, I can print the pi value. But before, if you are not importing in this way, if you are just using import, here you have to specify the module name like this math.py. So every time you have to specify the module name. So this was like how you can import. So let me make a text out of this and say how many ways are there. So first way is you can just say import math. This is the first way. Second way you can say is import math as m. So here if you are writing in this way, you have to specify this math dot function name, math dot function name. But when you are specifying in this way, you have to specify this alias name. So this is an alias name, m dot and so on. And if you are importing, okay, the third way we have seen is from math import a function name, for example sqrt, and in the last I have told you from math import star. So these are the four, you can call forms or four versions where you can import a library or a module. So this was a very simple example on math. Suppose if you are working on a big data or data science or machine learning, so where we have different modules. For example, I am working on a big data projects now on Spark. So I see, just a second. Yeah. So I will say like import all the functions from PySpark. So we'll see in detail what is PySpark, but I have to import all the functions from the PySpark. Or I can say from PySpark, there is a module called PySpark.sql. I'm going to import all the functions. So it is PySpark.sql.functions import all. If I'm working on any exploratory data analysis, there I am using a pandas or numpy. So there I'll be importing pandas or I'll be importing numpy. Or you can say from pandas or numpy import all the functions. So if you are using this, or many times we will be we will be having some use cases also where I'll be using pandas and numpy also, import pandas as pd. So you might be seeing this many times. So instead of writing pandas every time, I can just use this alias name pd and proceed further. So here if I use import numpy as np, many say that it is np. So you can give any name. It is not mandatory that you can give np only. You can give any name, ab also. So every time if you want to use the functions inside this numpy, we have to specify this name and import. So this was a very basic of the module. So just let me have a quick recap of what we have seen now. So module is nothing but it's a collection of functions. So there are many functions inside one module. If you want to use that functions, we have to import the module name. So there are 4 5 versions like how you can import. So this is a summary. You can see here: import math as m. From math you import a function name, but most of the time if you're working, we will be using this only, like from math import all, because this will take care of all the functions and we don't need to remember which functions and which module we are using. Just you need to write this and proceed. So in real time we say in this way: from math import all, from PySpark import all, from, I'm just giving you the example, from pandas import all, from NumPy import all. I'm just giving you the example. So this will take care of pulling out all the functions which are inside the, maybe by inside the Spark or inside the pandas or inside the NumPy. So if you run this, you can use any functions which are as a part of this module. I hope you enjoyed this session, guys. So if you like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Keep learning.